Hello, television family. Happy Tuesday, 20th day of February, 2024. I'm Dan Kuntz. Happy birthday, Brother Mark. Wanted to get that in before I forgot. Not going to tell you how old he is. He knows how old he is. Right now at 36 degrees, we've already hit what we hit for the high temperature on Monday. It was a cold, raw day. We had 1/4 of an inch of rain, which is a lot of rain. We were expecting rain on Monday, but not what we got. It rained pretty much all day. Things are going to start changing. Still active weather, but we're going to see a significant warming trend. Boy, Friday and Saturday look really good. Lots of sunshine, lower 50s. Haven't had that in, since maybe October, early November, something like that. I'll have to do the research now that I brought it up. And then a really stormy week next week as we bid adieu to February and welcome March. But things are going to start climbing the temperature scale rather dramatically here after that cool 36-degree day yesterday. That's all we got to was 36, and that's where we are right now. Details are on the way. There is a lot of news. It was a busy day in the newsroom yesterday. In sports, the Seattle Kraken had an afternoon affair against the Red Wings. Never led. They tied 3 times. They never led. Then they went to overtime. And if you don't know what happened, we will tell you when we get to sports. We'll preview the Wenatchee Wild. They have a game tonight, home game at the Town Toyota Center. They don't play too many Tuesday games, but this is an exception. Spokane is in town. We'll talk to Austin Friday, not only during the sports segment of this show, but in the back half of the program. We'll visit with Austin. It's always good to talk to him and everything else you need to start your day on this Tuesday, the day after the holiday. Hope you had the day off yesterday, and I hope you stayed dry. 2 minutes after the hour, here we go. We probably should have some pretty good views with our cameras. Now that the sun is up, these longer days are great. Still getting over 3 extra minutes of daylight each additional day, and this has been going on for about a week. Sunrise already happened, 6:58 this morning. Sunset tonight, 5:32, 10 hours and almost 34 minutes of daylight, which is always a good thing. Good morning to the Wenatchee Valley from our Wenatchee Heights camera, giving East Wenatchee most of the love this morning. You can see a little bit of snow still up on Badger and Birch Mountain. Lake Chelan should look pretty good from our Lower Butte camera. Good morning to Lake Chelan. The town of Chelan is off to your right, just out of view, but you can see, of course, the ever-growing north shore of Lake Chelan continues to explode in housing developments. And, of course, the bathtub is pretty low because it is February and lots of clouds up in the Chelan area today. We're going to have clouds today, too. Everybody's going to have clouds, but at least it's going to be a lot warmer. Omi Garden camera looks something like that. That looks blue, doesn't it? Really cool view there. Good morning to Stemelt, the Otabashian Bridge, and our friends on the north side of East Wenatchee from our Omi Garden camera. It's actually not in Omi Garden. It's about 1/4 of a mile road that goes out to an abutment that overhangs the old station area. We call it the Omi Garden camera. It's close enough. And Leavenworth looks something like this. Of course, still lots of snow on the ground in Leavenworth. The last snow event that we had about a week ago, Leavenworth got about 5 inches of snow there. So good morning to Leavenworth. The low clouds hanging over the Wenatchee River. Hello, Leavenworth. Good to see you. From the National Weather Service. That way, if you don't like the forecast, you can blame the government. Again, weak disturbances rotating around a low pressure system starts passing through little by little. Not a lot of weather for the next couple of days. Boring, perhaps, maybe the best way to put it. Still a 30% chance of some light rain today, but a lot warmer. After a 36-degree high yesterday, we'll bump up to 44 today. Slight chance of rain tonight in the overnight hours. Outside of that, just cloudy and foggy. Overnight low of about 35, 36, right around there. We're going to hover right around 43 or 44 again on Wednesday. Less chance of rain tomorrow than we're going to have today. And 35 for the overnight low. And then things start looking pretty good come Thursday. No more rain in the forecast under partly cloudy skies. We'll warm up to 46. The sunshine will be busting out in the afternoon hours, and I'm all for that. How's the lower 50s sound on Friday and Saturday? Time to dust off the golf clubs. With lots of sunshine and very nice temperatures, well above normal. 51 and 52 on Friday and Saturday. Our normal high is 44. We'll take that. Then things get active a little bit, especially Sunday afternoon. The snow level is going to be way up there. No rain, no snow, just rain. And a high of 49 on Sunday. And then most of next week, according to the National Weather Service, as you can see Monday, things start getting dramatic. There's going to be a significant change in the pattern by the time we get to Monday and Tuesday, with lots of snow in the mountains and stormy weather here in the valley. Don't know why there's no sun up in the sky except the weekend. And I'm not supposed to sing the songs anymore because we have to pay royalties. Going to take a break. When we come back, the news. You're watching a Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
See how very different you will feel in your Bullfrog Spa.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. You can lift this up right here. Time warranty.
Great, I want that one. I would like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
Ooh.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Check out ClubCrowCashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
Sun's going to take the day off today. We're at 36 degrees. We'll be lower 40s for the next couple of days. Again, pretty significant cloud cover. Sunshine returns Thursday afternoon. Friday and Saturday look good. Very active weather, they tell us, next week. It's 8 minutes after the hour. A shooting in the Larson community in Moses Lake left one person severely injured. This happened early Sunday morning. Moses Lake Police and the Grant County Sheriff's Department says it appears to have been a targeted attack that wounded a 19-year-old man and left him hospitalized. Callers to 911 reported 8 to 10 gunshots just after 1 o'clock in the morning on Sunday near the intersection of March and Biggs Drive. Police say the victim in the shooting was wounded in the torso and the limbs. No arrests were immediately made. Detectives, as you might imagine, are investigating. An afraid teenager was killed in a one-car rollover accident. This happened last night on Highway 17 near the Blue Lake Resort. According to the Washington State Patrol, the unnamed 16-year-old was driving southbound in a 2004 Honda Civic at about 8:15 last night when he failed to negotiate the curve and lost control, and that caused the car to come to its rest on its top in the northbound lane. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The State Patrol says the victim was not wearing a seatbelt. An Orondo man is in jail this morning after a SWAT team arrested him on Saturday night on suspicion of assault. 37-year-old James Scott Martin allegedly attacked 2 other people with a metal bar. This was just before 4:30 on Saturday afternoon. The incident taking place on Zanole Loop Road, and when Grant County Sheriff's deputies were summoned, Martin allegedly barricaded himself in his own residence nearby and wouldn't come out. Police with the East Cascade SWAT team overpowered him with a non-lethal projectile, took him into custody. The standoff lasted about 6 hours. Martin faces possible charges including assault, burglary, and malicious mischief. The Chelan County PUD is going to temporarily close a section of Riverwalk Trail up in Chelan. They're going to implement improvements and restore the shoreline of Riverwalk Park. Each year, several feet of shoreline at the park is lost to erosion caused by the washing effect that stems from wind and boat wakes. The Chelan PUD will be rehabilitating roughly 520 feet of riverbank with river cobble, plants, boulders, and more. Improved waterfront access for non-motorized watercraft will also be added. The work will begin in March and will wrap up in April. The laws that govern street racing have changed, and in Wenatchee anyway, the police say that they're going to start using strategies like impounding vehicles to stop illegal racing whenever they see it. The Wenatchee Police Department gave a year-end report to the City Council last week, in which officers, including that man, Traffic Enforcement Specialist Reed Klein, says drivers will see increased street racing enforcement in the year 2024. Eastmont graduate, author, and AIDS survivor Julie Simpson Lewis will be the Grand Marshal of the 105th Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. Simpson's memoir is called Still Positive. Came out last year, tells the story of her journey with her HIV diagnosis in the 1990s. A decade ago, she launched the 30/30 Project, which built 30 healthcare facilities to offer women better access to healthcare. Simpson's interesting life story doesn't end there. She's also the mother of Grammy Award-winning music producer and Macklemore collaborator Ryan Lewis. During the festival, Simpson will be honored at the All-Service Club Luncheon on May 1st, and she will ride in the Stimmel Growers Grand Parade on Saturday, May 4th. If you are a smartphone user in Chelan County, you're going to be asked to get ready to change to the county's new emergency alert system. A couple of weeks ago, county commissioners approved transitioning to the Everbridge emergency alert system, replacing the Alert Sense app, which is used by Chelan County Emergency Management for several years. Everbridge provides alerts for fires, floods, and other emergencies, and it does it in multiple languages. Alert Sense users can expect an email from Chelan County asking you to update your contact information to get ready for the change. And once that's done, all contacts currently enrolled in Alert Sense will be automatically sent to Everbridge when it goes live on April 1st. And if you walked into the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center on Saturday afternoon, you saw an interesting sight. 35 young surgeons hard at work. The museum hosted their annual Matters of the Heart event. That's where students 4th grade and up can dissect pig hearts alongside medical professionals. Dr. Kate Straub is a heart surgeon at Confluence Health and has been helping run the event for the last 8 years, and CW Life caught up with her before the kids got there.
I think that there's not enough in school that's so hands-on, and really to stick your fingers into the parts of the heart and see exactly where the blood goes and how it gets there is just, it really kind of completes the loop on when you're learning something about science, is to get really hands-on and even a little gross with it. I'm a surgeon here in Wenatchee at Confluence Health. I'm a general surgeon taking care of just about anything involving the belly and the chest. I've just really loved working with kids and teaching them. I think that we kind of underestimate just how much kids can take in when they're learning new concepts, and every year we try new things and teach them new things. Like this year, after we're done with our heart dissection, there's this place where they can bring their hearts and actually try to sew them back together, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to start by doing a lecture on the anatomy of the heart and kind of how the heart functions in general. Hopefully have the kids participating in that. And then we're going to split into groups at each table where a physician or physician assistant is going to be taking a group of children through a heart dissection, kind of whichever way they want to, explaining the anatomy or maybe the electrical activity of the heart, maybe problems that can happen with the heart. And then they come over to my table where we're going to learn some suturing techniques, which I'm really excited about. And then we're going to have a little snack afterwards. We have a full variety of physicians coming in, family practice doctors, anesthesiologists, cardiologists, just about anybody is participating. I think anytime you can make children more excited about science in general, I think that that's fantastic. Anytime you can get them away from a screen and getting their hands on something is just an amazing opportunity. And I think, you know, for the physicians that participate in this, every year I hear how surprised they are just at how engaged children are, and I think it reinvigorates our interest in teaching and working with kids as well. And that's what's going on this Tuesday morning, and we will have the news for you tonight
at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. You want to find out what's going on in the Wenatchee Valley in north central Washington? We fill the bill, the evening news at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on TV. If that doesn't work for you, and for a lot of people it doesn't, we'll have it on the web. It'll be up and running right around 5 o'clock on our homepage, ncwlife.com, and our Facebook page, and our YouTube page, and our app. By golly, if you haven't downloaded our app, there's the way you go about doing it. And if there's something out there that you think we need to know about, send us an email. It's the best way to go about doing it. Our email address is news@ncwlife.com. Still to come, sports. We're talking hockey and high school basketball playoffs. A lot of teams from our area made it to state. We like that. Plus, Mike McNally's opinion, he doesn't like those self-checkout stands at the grocery store. An obscure holiday for you pet lovers, some celebrity birthdays, and Austin Drade, the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild. You're watching a Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
The day after I met her, I called and asked her to go on a date with me, and we came to Abby's Pizza for our first date.
Eating it across from each other, I'll never forget it. This place is special.
It's barbecue chicken pizza season at Abby's Legendary Pizza, baby. Featuring our flavorful pizza sauce and a 3-cheese blend, layered with BBQ sauce, chicken, and onions. Order your hot and fresh feast now at abbys.com. A legendary pizza tradition.
Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
Around here, Jack Frost nips more than just your nose. That's why people here drive Honda. Dependable all-wheel drive with traction control, with heated steering wheel and seats to keep Jack Frost off your seat, which will make it very happy. And since it's no fun to fill up in this weather, isn't it cool that Honda is known for legendary fuel efficiency? Great deals are here now, and so is Mr. Frost. So see your Inland Northwest Honda dealer today. Honda can handle it.
18 minutes after the hour in sports, Ben Sherratt scored a minute 6 into overtime. Unfortunately, he plays for Detroit. Patrick Kane got his 800th career assist. The Red Wings beat the Kraken 4-3 on Monday. Jared McCann scored twice for the Kraken. The Kraken are 4-7-2 since they had that franchise best 9-game winning streak. That seems like ancient history now. Jaden Schwartz also scored. Will Borgen had a couple of assists. Joey Decord stopped 28 shots.
Kane to break it, fires, wide. What a pass by Kane. How did he get that on that tape? One-timer, Sider! Out of the room! Back on the ice and into the net. And Mo Sider gives the Red Wings a 1-0 lead.
You know, that first initial cross-ice pass by Patrick Kane is what opens up this scene for the second pass to Mo Sider. As you see that first pass there, and then you can see Seattle spread out. So when Sider comes up in that blue line, he's got so much time to pick the shot that he wants. He comes off the bench as well, just perfect timing.
Here's McCann out there, ripped it across the Burakovsky. It's a couple of dangerous guys on the flanks. McCann is gone! Nikes did he rip that one, Cassie Campbell.
And had all sorts of time to the right of Lyon to just set this shot up. You can see him just comes up high, comes down, attacks the dot, puts it across. Again, you watch all the Red Wings shift over to one side, and look who's wide open. He has time to pull that across his body in just a perfect shot. Bam.
You're right, Witta. You got to find some Buckeyes. Here's Petrie. Shot deflected. Loose score! Lucas Raymond is on the board to give the Red Wings a 2-1 lead. It's Raymond's 16th of the year.
Of getting traffic in front, and not just one layer but two, and it goes right from the face-off, a battle won on the wall at the hash marks. And then Detroit just goes to work. Good patience by Sherrod, who had jumped up into the play. And there you can see two Detroit Red Wings players just in front as Petrie just puts this to space. And a nice little tip there by Comfort to get it through. And Raymond there for the rebound.
McCann has Beniers. There's Beniers. Over to McCann. He tried, but broken up. And DeBrincat back playing D. Morgan with a shot. Blocker save Lyon. Oleksiak in front. Kick save. Score! It's McCann again. It took him a couple of tries, but he beats Alex Lyon to tie the game at 2.
In Seattle, they create about 3 or 4 chances in this last-minute sequence. And watch McCann in front, and he's just going to make sure he gets his stick open. He gets a tip opportunity here, but then watch him get inside position, uses his feet as well to kick it back to his stick. But the key was to get inside position on Mata. He can't tie up his stick. He's just boxing him out, which is what the defender wants to do to him. And just a smart play here by McCann, staying in front, staying around it.
Here's Dunn. Now Fisher has a 2-on-1 if they hurry. Sprong and Fisher. Fisher, Sprong, rips it, score! Twisted wrister from the former member of the Kraken. He had 21 goals last year with Seattle. It's his 15th of the year for the Red Wings, and Detroit has a 3-2 lead. The Kraken will get a power play unless they score here. Gord's been active. Fakes. Schwartz shoots. Cue Nirvana.
Yeah, just an unbelievable play along the boards, and then he comes across the blue line, takes the time and space given to him. And this is one thing we talked about in the first intermission is Lyon will come out and challenge. You can see how far out he is. And look at the wide open net for Schwartz as Lyon just can't get his footing. But here's the play on the boards. Just a little give and go to himself off the boards. Creates all this time and space. He knows if he loses.
Now we go Lucas Raymond and Dylan Larkin. Larkin in the zone. Sherrod scores! Ben Sherrod has won the game in overtime with his 4th of the year. And the Red Wings finish their road trip 2-2.
The Kraken continue their homestand on Thursday. They have a couple of days off. The Canucks will be coming to town, 7 o'clock. On Root Sports. The Wenatchee Wild continue their playoff push tonight at the Town Toyota Center as the 5th place Wild will take on the 8th place Spokane Chiefs. Wild broadcaster Austin Drade says Spokane looking to play spoiler.
They've battled a little bit here this year. They're having a better season than a year ago, but still battling to get into the playoff race here with time starting to wind down. But the special teams are certainly a solid group for them. They've got some good goaltending. Dawson Cowan's been good for them throughout the season. Played for the Winnipeg Ice for a bit, so he's. They've got some of the pieces already in place, but I think the focus right now for Spokane is building for the next year or two and really making a push back into the playoff race and back into contention in the Western Conference, but playing spoiler when they can, and they're going to try to do that against us coming up tonight.
With Everett, Prince George, and Portland, a solid 1-2-3 in the Western Division. The goal for the Wenatchee Wild, Austin tells me, is to get that number 4 seed.
Right now, the battle for us is for home ice advantage. That first round, that's a very attainable goal for us, obviously, and that's where the urgency lies for this group. Is let's get that home ice first round. Let's take care of the business that we need to take care of, and hold off a couple of teams that are making a charge at us, and we'll see if we can do that first round.
It's a multicultural night, by the way, tonight at the Town Theater Center. They'll drop the puck at 6 o'clock. All right, well, the brackets are in, the seeds are out, and there are a lot of teams from North Central Washington who made it to the state tournament. In girls, undefeated two-time defending state champion Ellensburg Bulldogs are the number 1 seed in the 2A bracket. Cashmere checks in at number 9 in the 1A bracket. Okanagan, Brewster, and Tenasket all made the 2B tournament, and Waterville, Mansfield, Elmira, Cooley, Heartline, and Pateros are all seeded and ready to go this weekend. So 8 teams from our area in girls basketball to the state tournament. The boys, not bad, 4. Lake Roosevelt, who's only lost 1 game this year, is the number 4 seed in the state 2B tournament. Tenasket checks in as the number 14 seed. And in the 1B tournament, Moses Lake Christian is the number 3 seed, and Soap Lake is the number 10 seed. And guess what? There's first round games right here in the Wenatchee Valley this weekend at Wenatchee High School. It gets going Friday night. Check it out. Tenasket will take on Friday Harbor at 6 o'clock in girls basketball. That'll be followed by Okanagan and Adna at 8 o'clock. And then you have a triple header at the Wenatchee High School Gymnasium on Saturday, beginning with Lake Roosevelt and Tri-Cities Prep at 2 o'clock. 4 o'clock, we'll have Waterville Mansfield girls tipping off against Oakesdale. And then the nightcap, Cashmere and Cedar Park Christian at 6 o'clock. The Wenatchee High School gym's going to be very busy this weekend for the first round of the state tournament. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Tuesday, the 20th day of February. I could have chosen, but I didn't, for the obscure holiday. National Cherry Pie Day, which I love. It's National Muffin Day. It's National Comfy Day. Yesterday should have been National Comfy Day with the clouds and the cold temperatures and the rain. And a lot of people had the day off, you know, cuddle up on the couch with a movie and some popcorn. But today is National Handcuff Day. They have a day for handcuffs. I've been in handcuffs. It's not a day you want to celebrate. But no, today is National Love Your Pet Day. Today, and here in the United States, we love our pets, and we got a lot of them. National Love Your Pet Day, here are the numbers. I looked it up. The number of households in the United States that have a pet. These are households that have a pet, not the number of pets. This is in the millions. 60 million households have a dog, at least one dog. 47 million households have a cat, at least one cat. 12 million households have fish. 8 million households have a bird. 4.7 million households in this country have a reptile, a lizard, or a iguana, or a snake, or whatever. 2.6 million households have horses. But how many actual animals does that come out to? Again, this is just in the United States. Guess what's is number 1? It's not dogs or cats, for just the sheer number of them. Fish. Fish. Although there's only 12 million households that have a fish tank, they account for 160 million fish. It's a lot of fish. There are about 94 million cats. Now, these are owned animals, not animals that are in shelters or virile animals or whatever, feral, that are running around doing their thing. 94 million cats owned in the United States, 90 million dogs, 20 million birds, 9.4 million reptiles, 7.7 million horses. Owning a pet has any number of benefits, and this has all been scientifically studied and figured all that stuff. It lessens the chance of developing allergies. It used to be the other way around, you know, but no, and that includes for kids too. If you have children in your household and you have a pet, the kids are less apt to become allergic to certain animals. It improves your heart health, improves your fitness level. You got to take the dog for a walk after all. It's good for the soul, improves depression. Studies have shown just petting a dog makes you feel better, or a cat. Today is National Love Your Pet Day today because it was on the internet, and the internet can't lie to me. It's the bottom of the hour. Today in history, happy birthday to the Met. Whenever anybody asks me, I'm going to New York for the first time, New York City, what are some of the things you recommend that I do? One of the things I mentioned is you take a helicopter tour. They're very expensive, but New York is very tall, and the only way to really appreciate Manhattan is from the air, so take a helicopter tour. Although it's very expensive, it's well worth it. And number 2, go to the Met. The Metropolitan Museum of Art opens in New York City on this date, in 1872. It is the largest and most visited museum in the United States. It's spectacular. It's going to take you days to soak it all in, but if you have a specific interest, you can go straight to that. It has everything. I mean, everything you could possibly imagine. Admission was free until 5 years ago. It was totally free to anybody. There was a suggested donation, but you didn't have to pay it. Now, if you don't live in New York State, it costs you $30 to get in. It's well worth it. It's still free to residents of New York State, but again, a suggested donation. Check out the Met if you're in New York, if you've never done it. 62 years ago today, John Glenn becomes the first American to orbit the Earth. We'd already sent somebody up and back, but they didn't orbit. John Glenn did it. Now, of course, the Soviets beat us to it. The Soviets had already sent two cosmonauts into space to go around the planet. Americans hadn't done it yet. John Glenn finally did it, became an American hero. He made 3 orbits around the planet. It took 4 hours and 55 minutes to do so. His luggage, by the way, ended up at Logan International Airport in Boston. Don't know how that happened. And finally, 53 years ago today, oops, we don't have the emergency broadcast system anymore. It's been replaced with the emergency alert system. They did that about 25 years ago, but back in 1971, it was the emergency broadcast system. The following is the test of the emergency broadcast system. If this had been an actual emergency, all that crap. 53 years ago today, they accidentally activated a real EBS emergency when it was supposed to be a test. It went out nationwide. The operator loaded the incorrect tape into the computer. This was a scheduled weekly test that would go out to all the television and radio stations. It wasn't supposed to be broadcast, they did it once a week to make sure the equipment works. They still do. It took 6 tries to fix the problem. In the meantime, most of the television stations and the radio stations in this country on this Saturday morning, February 20th, ignored it because they knew it was scheduled in their log. There was going to be a weekly EBS test. They thought it was the weekly EBS test, not realizing it was the real deal. Well, there was no emergency, of course. Other stations got it. Some stations didn't get it at all. And some of the stations that did get it didn't follow the procedure. So it's a good thing nothing bad really did happen, because it turns out the EBS wasn't working right on February 20th, 1971. They ditched the EBS system, and I'm glad they did. It's 32 minutes after the hour. One heavenly birthday, the legendary Sidney Poitier. Born in this state in 1927. We lost him a couple of years ago at the age of 94. In the Heat of the Night is a great movie, and others as well. Guess who's coming to dinner? Sidney Poitier, born in the state in 1927. Some living legends, Charles Barkley, 61 years old today. A lot of people don't like Charles. I find him fascinating. Charles Barkley is 61. Cindy Crawford is not just another pretty face. She graduated #1 from her high school, #1 in the class of 1984. She was valedictorian. She got a scholarship to study chemical engineering at Northwestern. I mean, you got to be really smart to get that. She went to Northwestern for 1 semester and then dropped out of school and became a model. Cindy Crawford, 58 years old today. Life is good for Justin Verlander. Anytime he's pitching, I'm watching. Of course, he owns the Mariners. The only player to win multiple World Series championships, an MVP award, a Rookie of the Year award, multiple Cy Young awards. He makes $45 million a year pitching for the Houston Astros, and he's married to Kate Upton. Life's pretty good for Justin Verlander. He's 41. I hope he keeps pitching because I think he's great. And Robin Fenty is 36. You know her as Justin Verlander. It's Rihanna, not Justin Verlander. She is the second best-selling female artist of all time. That's not Justin Verlander. Only Madonna has sold more records and music. She's #2. And she's the wealthiest female musician of all time. She's worth more than even Taylor Swift. She's worth $1.4 billion, and she's not Justin Verlander. Special thanks to Alpine Air, platinum sponsors here of the NCW Life channel. I think after they watch this episode, maybe they won't be. Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Don't forget about our friends at Pool to Spa Services. on Worthen Street in Wenatchee. Time to get your pool ready for the summertime swimming. Go see the good folks at Pool to Spa Services and our friends at Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista. Mike McNally's got an opinion. He's got an opinion about a lot of things. Some of them even have merit. We'll have that coming up, and then it's time to talk Wild hockey, a rare Tuesday visit from Austin Drade, the voice of the Wenatchee Wild, because they got a home game tonight. Austin will be joining us too. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Central Washington Water is your solution for problem water. Whether you're on a well or municipal water, they can design a clean water system custom to you. Soft water eliminates water spots and scaling on fixtures. It protects appliances from hard water damage, saving you money. Soft water reduces soap usage that causes skin irritation and is a healthier choice to drink. Call for a free in-home consultation or stop by the store to have your water tested. Central Washington Water, your best water solution for home, pool, and spa.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota equipment. Part of the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience in the U.S., they offer the versatility and reliability to get the job done right all year round. Right now, bring home select VX and L Series tractors for 0 down, 0% APR for 72 months. Contact your Kubota dealer for details.
Mount Stewart Physical Therapy is all new. New staff, new therapists, and a fabulous new chiropractor. That's right, you do not need to drive to Wenatchee or Kashmir for your care. Come see Dr. Zolman, DC. No referral needed for most insurances. Open your auto and work injury claims with us, or fax your post-op and Medicare therapy prescriptions to us right here in town. We offer covered pelvic floor services. We are premium health care for the Upper Valley. Improve your quality of life today. Mount Stewart Integrative Therapy and Chiropractic.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I'm in the grocery store one Saturday morning, and I need to use a regular check stand, not the self-check thing. Now, guess what? There's no check stand open. Does this business not realize that the check stands are where their money comes in, and taking my money for their stuff is what they're in business for, isn't it? Well, isn't that the point of their business, for them to offer me stuff that I'm willing to give them money for? You know, I know there's issues with getting enough employees, but there are people who work in these local businesses who've told me that they need more hours, but they and other employees' hours are being cut and they can't get enough. Now, I got no problem with a business working to improve their bottom line, but is it getting to the point that some businesses seem to have forgotten that they are dependent on customers like me, customers who have other options? And if it gets to the point where a business priorities tip the scales to where they think they're doing me a favor to take my money, well, there's little question as to why some businesses go belly up. This is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and that's my opinion.
Well, looks like our surgery patient is feeling better today.
Yep, I didn't need any oxy today. I thought I'd do a little surgery on the drain.
Huh. Do you need your pain pills anymore?
No.
Well, we should get them out of the house. There are places to drop them off.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I can do that right now.
And I will look at the drain.
Prevent opioid misuse. Find safe medication return options near you at med-project.org.
Come on, I'm a certified technician. I was trained to take good care of you.
9. I've only been to the dealer.
I've been coming here for years. These guys are great.
Look around. The BMW, the Jag, the Volvo, they're all waiting for regular service. Well, the BMW has a little computer issue, but that's nothing we can't handle. Come on in.
From regular maintenance to computer troubleshooting, trust the Global Car Care technicians with your import, diesel-powered, or domestic vehicle. Global Car Care. They speak your car's language.
Dankeschön.
The Lake Chelan Chamber of Commerce presents Wonders of Wooden Avenue.
Steelhead Cider offers 20 taps with cider, beer, and wine, featuring views of the lake, great music, and fantastic flights. Find it on Wooden Ave behind the bookstore in downtown Chelan.
Kelly's Classic Ace Hardware Store. From the minute you walk through the door, you'll feel the difference. Kelly's revives the days of personal service lost in the big box stores of today. Kelly's Ace Hardware in classic downtown Chelan.
Wonders of Wooden Avenue, North Central Washington's premier shopping district.
How do you think like an entrepreneur?
I have had it in mind starting my own business. This is all really good to know right now.
I am currently making a vision board. I am talking about my well-being, my personal finances, and habits that I would like to work on and to improve myself to be a better entrepreneur.
It's a rare Tuesday visit from Austin Andrade here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Normally we set Wednesdays aside to talk about Wenatchee Wild hockey, but they got a game tonight. It's a Tuesday affair with Spokane in town. They'll drop the puck at 6 o'clock tonight, multicultural night. And to talk Wild hockey, as we do whenever it's feasible, it is the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild, Austin Andrade. How are you?
Doing all right. About you?
Let's hop right to it. First of all, we're not going to talk about Friday night. Outside of it was a great crowd for Hockey Fights Cancer, and really liked the uniforms that they wore. They auctioned off afterwards to fight the Big C. Outside of that, we know what happened. Everett beat us 7-1 Friday night at the Town Toyota Center. So we're going to go back to last Wednesday at the ShoWare Arena in Kent and start off our festivities with Austin narrating a nice big fat victory when we scored 7 goals and Seattle did not. So as we roll tape, Austin, let's take a little quick trip down memory lane. A great day for the defense, the Blue Liners.
Huge day for the Blue Liners as the Wild weave through with Graham Sward right to the net and right to the scoreboard. Graham Sward makes it 1-0. We're barely 2 minutes into the game, and the Wild a little bit of momentum to get this one started. They say the best offense, or the best defense, is a good offense, right? Whoop to the left. Top corner to the right, and right onto the scoreboard. Graham Sward with Selly, and the Wild with the lead. Carter Prasovsky, right wing circle, bang, 2-0. Wild in the lead going to the second period. Carter Prasovsky walking his way through just outside the right dot, hits his target. Let's see that one again, shall we? Right around a defender, pick your corner, hit your target, and the Wild up 2-0. We go to the second period with the game tied at 2. A quick strike from Seattle, but the Wild get one back. Shot from the left point, and it's Briley Wood, the tip and the tally in front. And Wenatchee with the lead. They would never relinquish one of 2 power play goals on the night for the Wild. And wouldn't you know it, it's Graham Sward with the shot from the left point. Briley Wood with the finish. Would you believe it? The Wild in the lead by 1. But they're going to add on to it, and it's going to be another defenseman. A drive up the left wing. Jonas Wu crash the net and knock it in. 4-2 halfway through the contest. Wild get the lead to a couple. That would be a big one for the Wild.
Why wasn't that goalie interference? I've seen that called in those kinds of situations.
Let's take a look at the replay. as I don't know that he ever made contact with the goaltender, and he's making a direct play on the puck as well.
Okay.
Face off, boom. Nothing more needs to be said. You don't have time to say anything more. Right off the draw, Rogers Bukarts makes it 5-3. Hayden Moore coming into that play looking for his very first point of the game. Never mind. He picks up the assist, and the Wild have the lead by 2 going to the second intermission, or do they? A late goal with 30 seconds left puts Seattle back within 1, but another toss from Graham Sward and another tip at the net. Evan Friesen with another point, his 14th straight game with at least 1 point, and his 6th straight game with at least a goal. Graham Sward, have a night, my man. Right into the net. Evan Friesen makes it 6-4, and Graham Sward with a rocket. One more for good measure. Thanks for playing. Drive home safely. Wild win it 7-4 as they knock off the Seattle Thunderbirds. Both teams 2 for 3 in the other teams building this season, and the season series between the Wild and the Thunderbirds dead even after Valentine's Day.
Go figure. That, again, was last Wednesday at the Showware Arena in Kent. We know what happened Friday night with Everett. It should be pointed out now, 54 down, 14 to go. I mean, we're 3/4 of the way through the season.
This is the home stretch.
This is the home stretch, and this is it. Everett, Prince George, and Portland have kind of separated themselves from the pack. Talk a little bit. All three of those teams have pretty much shown the rest of the league that they're the top 3 teams in our division.
All 3 of those teams are good teams, they're talented teams, they're very deep teams, and all 3 of them have really solid goaltending to carry them through. It's I think it's going to be a battle just to make it to the conference finals when you got those 3 teams, and who knows, Victoria, Vancouver, Wenatchee makes a move in the conference semifinals. It's going to be a battle all the way through the Western Conference playoffs here. You talk about the Eastern Conference and how deep it is and how good the teams are out there. The Western Conference is no slouch this year.
Yeah, it should be pointed out that those 3 teams we just mentioned, Everett, Prince George, and Portland, they have already clinched playoff spots. They could lose the rest of the games of the regular season, and they're still in. They made it. We're currently in 5th place. We're chasing Victoria. We have 60 points. Victoria with 62 points. Right behind us, Vancouver, who's won 9 out of their last 10, something like that.
Vancouver's getting hot. They're making a run at it. They're putting some pressure on the teams battling for home ice. Victoria did pass us over the weekend, but the good news is going into Tuesday night, the Wild have 2 games in hand on Victoria. So any one of those, all of the tiebreakers right now belong to Wenatchee in that department. So win one of the 2 and you're in good shape. But you got to go out and win those games.
Yeah, you got to win the game starting tonight with Spokane in town. We are 3-7 in our last 10 games. It looked like after last Wednesday's shellacking of Seattle, we had righted that ship after, well, for one thing, our 5-game losing streak came to an end. But then Everett's just good. That's just all there is to it.
They're a deep team. They're well coached. They've got a lot put together this year, and they're going to make a run, I think, here during the playoffs. And they're not an easy team to take down, and they've gotten us a couple times here of late.
Let's talk about Spokane. They are in town tonight for a Tuesday evening affair, kind of a rarity. 6 o'clock. They dropped the puck a little bit earlier because it's a school night, kids. Give me the scouting report on the Chiefs.
The Chiefs, they've battled a little bit here this year. They're having a better season than a year ago, but still battling to get into the playoff race here with time starting to wind down. But the special teams are certainly a solid group for them. They've got some good goaltending. Dawson Cowan's been good for them throughout the season. Played for the Winnipeg Ice for a bit, so they've got some of the pieces already in place, but I think the focus right now for Spokane is building for the next year or 2 and really making a push back into the playoff race and back into contention in the Western Conference, but playing spoiler when they can, and they're going to try to do that against us coming up tonight.
Again, 6 o'clock is when they drop the puck. It is multicultural night, and then one of our longest trips of the year coming up this weekend.
It'll feel, I think, a little longer than it actually is. A 3-day road trip to Calgary on Friday, Red Deer on Saturday, Edmonton on Sunday. Only time we'll see these teams all season, but one of the highlights of the trip is a game in the Saddle Dome on Friday night and a game in Rogers on Sunday where the NHL teams play. So it'll be a big scene for these guys to step onto, and it's certainly a business trip for these guys. We've got games to win, we've got points to pick up, certainly spots that we need to hang on to in the Western Conference race, but you don't get a chance to play in these sort of buildings very often, so even though it is a business trip, I hope the guys are able to kind of take it in and enjoy the moment this weekend.
Where do you sit when you call the games in Calgary and Edmonton? Again, these are NHL arenas that also host WHL teams. Are you way up in the nosebleed section?
We'll be up in the regular press box where the big guys sit. I've already seen one this year, not only from St. Louis's broadcaster with the Blues, but also I think it was Les Lazaruk with the Saskatoon Blades. Did the traditional film yourself walking over the video board at the Saddle Dome to the gondola. You don't have to do that anymore. They have an elevator on the back side, but I think it's kind of a rite of passage that you have to do it at least once during your trip. So I'll probably do it on the way up that first day, maybe during morning skate if the press box is open. Try not to freeze in place out of fear on the way up, and I'll be taking the elevator the rest of the way.
Smart move, my friend. Again, Wenatchee is in 5th place right now. The top 8, there's 11 teams in our division. The top 8 make the playoffs. The other 3 go get their tee times and get an early spring. And then once the playoff begins, and through each round there's a reseeding process. Mm-hmm. And that's important to note, because if the season ended today, we'd be the 5th of the 8 teams in, but we pull off a first round upset, who knows?
You pull off first round upset. You look back to the BCHL playoffs last year, and the Wild last year were seeded 7th, pulled off the upset against Cranbrook, but with that reseeding, you end up getting the number 1 team. So if you're able to climb into that 3-4 spot, anything that happens, you're really able to avoid that. If there's an upset and you're sitting in number 3 or number 4, maybe you end up getting home ice for that next round. But you gotta take care of business that first round and climb as much as you can before you get to the postseason.
And again, there's just 14 more games left in the regular season for the Wenatchee Wild. I believe it's right to the last day of March, something like that. I can't remember.
The playoffs will begin the last weekend of March, so March 23rd. We'll play our last home game March 16th, go up and play in Victoria Wednesday, Friday, and then hit Everett for a Saturday game on the way home. And we'll find out from there what the scene looks like.
Is this the sense of urgency now at this point? I mean, they know there's only 14 games left, and yeah, you'd rather be in 4th than 5th. But the way the 3 teams ahead of us, Everett, Prince George, and Portland, are playing, you also have to be somewhat realistic, right?
You have to be somewhat realistic. You're probably not going to climb into the top 3. But right now, the battle for us is for home ice advantage. That first round, that's a very attainable goal for us, obviously, and that's where the urgency lies for this group. Is let's get that home ice first round. Let's take care of the business that we need to take care of, and hold off a couple of teams that are making a charge at us, and we'll see if we can do that first round.
Again, it starts tonight, the final push, 14 games to go. How many are at home?
5.
5. That's it.
That's it.
So I got to start giving away some serious Wenatchee Wild ticket vouchers.
I
got
so.
to get hopping on that. It's just 5 home games left, and it begins tonight with the Spokane Chiefs in town again, 6 o'clock, and then a road trip up to Canada. Do they use the metric system up there in hockey?
Do.
Okay. Curious about that. So. It's Austin Drade, the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild. Real quick, NHL talk real quick. Kraken are kind of in the same boat as the Wenatchee Wild are. They just started yesterday against Detroit, their longest home stretch of the season at Climate Pledge. They got 6 straight home games. What's your thoughts on the local Kraken hockey team?
Got to defend home ice.
Wow, that's deep. You're right, you didn't even have to change cameras for that one. Austin Drade, WenatcheeWildHockey.com, 888-PUCK. Get your tickets. Let's play a role in getting this team home ice advantage for the first round of the playoffs. And the playoffs are the playoffs. If you watch the NHL playoffs last year, Boston had the best record in the regular season record in the history of the NHL. Didn't even make it out of the first round. You never know what could happen.
Got to take care of business, and things can happen pretty quickly. Life comes at you fast. Get the wins while you can get them.
Life comes at you fast. Austin Drade, February 20th. Writing that down. It's good stuff. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
All right. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
The route can be a crazy place. Uh-oh! That's why Les Schwab Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Keep driving. I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
Stop in for our Founders Celebration Sale and save up to $150 on select sets of Ford tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Your home runs on hot water. From the kitchen, to the bath, to the laundry. So Rheem offers a wide variety of water heaters from traditional models to ones smart enough to tell you how much hot water is available. On second thought, perhaps the laundry can wait.
The new Hummer EV is everything you want in an all-electric vehicle. It's powerful, reliable, comfortable, and will take you anywhere you want to go, on-road or off. Why buy one of those lesser EVs when you can have one that uses them for traction? Order your Hummer pickup or SUV today from Sangster Motors, batteries included.
Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue, family owned and operated on North Wenatchee Avenue, right next to Hooked on Toys. Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue uses only fresh ingredients, handcrafted with love, including authentic Hawaiian barbecue and Japanese-style ramen noodle soups. And the bubble teas will keep you coming back for more. Enjoy the culinary tour of the Pacific Rim with Hawaiian barbecue lunches and combo plate classics, as well as ramen noodle soups. Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue. Enjoy their comfort food like you're one of the family. Let's wrap up this Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's overcast. It's 36 degrees here in the big city. It's going to be considerably warmer than it was yesterday with all of that rain. We never got above 36 on Monday, and we had a quarter of an inch of rain. We were supposed to get rain, but it was a lot of rain on Monday. We're going to have a pretty dry period. Forecast details are coming up. Real quick shop talk. Great show for you tomorrow. Not only is it going to be Winnie Wednesday, I'll be giving away multiple ticket vouchers for upcoming Wenatchee Wild home games for Winnie Wednesday. You don't want to miss that. But a couple of great interviews coming your way. Mayor Mike Poyer of the city of Wenatchee and his wife Maureen have donated $10,000 to the Wenatchee Valley YMCA for the new synthetic indoor track that they are going to construct when they build the new campus. They're going to break ground here in a couple of months. That's a really cool deal. It's going to start the fundraising process for that. Mike and Maureen, Mayor Poyer and his wife will be joining me, and Dory Foster will be on tomorrow's show as well. She is, of course, the CEO of the Wenatchee Valley YMCA. We'll get an update on the Building What Matters Capital campaign from Dory. So we got a big show for you tomorrow. Don't miss that. We have a quick minute or two, quick view around the cameras around the valley. I think we switched them up from what we had an hour ago when we began this show. Let's see what Uriah has planned. And yeah, that is the lower Heights camera. We have two cameras up on the Wenatchee Heights. One of them is right at the very tip that we use it all the time. You don't miss it. That's the other one. It's a little bit more to the east, a little bit lower in elevation. It comes in handy sometimes. So we thought we'd show you that one as well, what we call the lower Heights camera. Don't know what Uriah has planned. Well, there's Rock Island. Looks like we're good to go. Go out and play a little golf, especially this weekend. It's going to be just gorgeous to play golf this weekend if you have time to get those golf muscles. If they've atrophied over the winter, you can get them back in shape this weekend because it's looking good, especially Friday and Saturday. Let's see what else Uriah has planned. Well, there you go. It's got to be, oh God, I got to say Hose Landing. That's the Hose Landing camera. That's basically the Douglas County side of the Columbia River, about where Aniad is, just on the other side, looking back down towards the Wenatchee Valley from our Hose Landing camera. And finally, sweet. Hey, Canyon. Good morning to Kashmir. Thanks for starting your day with us. From the National Weather Service, we're going to have clouds again today, but very little rain in the forecast and a lot warmer. High of 44, 35 for the overnight low tonight. Slight chance of light rain tonight. We'll be dry on Wednesday, but certainly cloudy with a high of 45. Then here comes the sun, especially Thursday afternoon, up to 46, lower 50s. With lots of sunshine Friday and Saturday, but don't get used to it. Next week looks pretty stormy. And we will see you tomorrow. Till then, bye-bye.
My meatball. We're in South Carolina, trying to make the largest meatball in the world.
But is this mountain of meat a Guinness record breaker?
That's a spicy meatball.
Then it's way down south to peanut country, where we discover this favorite little treat is the source of some big help around the globe.
Welcome to Small Town Big Deal. I'm Rodney Miller.